Type questions from the poem Ode to Autumn by John Keats. So some questions about understanding. Who is the author of the Ode to Autumn? It's John Keats. Second, Ode to Autumn was written in which year? It was written in 1819. Which of the following is not a theme of an Ode to Autumn? The revolution is not the theme of this poem. What kind of poem is Ode to Autumn? It is an ode. How many stanzas are there in Ode to Autumn? It has 3 stanzas. Now some structure and form of this poem. How many lines are written on each stanza? In each stanza there are 12 lines. What is the rhyme scheme of each stanza? It's ABAB, CDE, DCCE. Which poetic form best describes Ode to Autumn? It's Horatian ode. Which season is personified in the poem? The autumn season. The tone of the poem is mainly celebratory. Now some imagery and symbolism of this poem. Which fruit is frequently mentioned in the poem? Apple. What does autumn hold in its hand in stanza 2? It holds a sickle. Which of the following is not a symbol used in the poem? Thunder, not used in this poem. What does the winnowing wind do in the second stanza? It separates grain from chaff. Which sound is not mentioned in the final stanza? It's buzzing bees. Now the personification related to now some questions related to personifications in this poem. Autumn is personified as all except a musician. What is the autumn drowsed with? It's poppies. What does Keats ask autumn in the second stanza? He asked, where are the songs of spring? Who sings to autumn in the third stanza? All of these, bees, grasshoppers and gnats all sang to autumn in the third stanza. Which poetic device is most used in this poem? The imagery. Now some lines and quotations from this poem. Complete the line. Season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. Thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind. It is an example of alliteration. Which while bad clouds bloom the soft dying day. It shows personification. Personification होता है जब हम किसी भी कोई भी चीज़ होती है नेचर में उसकी कंपैरिजन ह्यूमन बीइंग्स के किसी भी उस फीलिंग्स या किसी भी लुक से किसी भी चीज़ से करें तो उसे पर्सोनिफिकेशन बोलते हैं. मतलब किसी पर्सन से कंपैरिजन करना किसी भी चीज़ का, दैट मीन्स पर्सोनिफिकेशन. Thou watches the last oozings hours by hours. What does this mean? It means leisure. Full ground lambs, loud bleat from hilly bone appears in third stanza of this poem. Now some critical and contextual questions. Which poetic movement is Keats associated with? It's obviously A, Romanticism. Who were Keats contemporaries? Contemporaries मतलब जो Keats के बाद आए जो poets. It means Wordsworth and Shelley. Now, what inspired Keats to write this poem? He was having a walk through the countryside. So he was inspired to write this poem. Which technique does Keats use to structure this poem? It's lyrical meditation. Keats' odes are known for their sensory richness. Now some interpretation and analysis of this poem. The poem can be interpreted as a reflection on death and transience. The gradual movement from morning to evening mirrors, it means youth to old age. What is the soft dying day symbolic of old age and death? The poem's mood transitions from abundance to reflection. What dominates the final stanza? The final stanza dominates sounds of evening. Now the literary devices used in this poem. Bosom friend is an example of apostrophe. Alliteration appears in which lines? Being, winnowing wind. What poetic technique dominates Keats' odes? Sensory imagery. Which figure of speech is in conspiring with him how to load and bless? Its personification. The poem ends with a tone of serenity. Now last 10 questions are about advanced and miscellaneous questions of this poem. What is the harvest symbolic of in this poem? Harvest is symbolic of finality and fulfillment. The bee's clammy cells, these symbolize the A1. This industry and overproduction. The poem's slow rhythm reflects what? It reflects stillness and calm. Ode to Autumn is sometimes seen as Keats' farewell to poetry. The poem celebrates the dash of nature. It's the generosity of nature. The absence of human characters show Keats' focus on pure nature. Gleaner refers to a person who collects leftover grains. What does Keats contrast in the poem? He contrasted spring and autumn. Which of the following best define Keats' poetical ideal in this poem? It's embracing transience. Now last question. Ode to Autumn. Autumn ends on a note of celebration of death's inevitability. Now prepare these questions for your exams and keep watching.